I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with a few items that I purchased with the intention to travel with because I'm going on a trip. This first item is the Pixi Glow Tonic to Go 5% acid and aloe vera. So I use the Glow Tonic morning and night. I've gone through several bottles of that. It's almost like a holy grail product for me in my skincare routine. So right after I wash my face, I go in with the Glow Tonic, and I found that these little pads here, just traveling with these is a lot more convenient. So I used these when I went down to Texas, and I really just enjoyed the ease of use of the pad and the toner in one. This has got 60 pads inside of here, and I do like to take a little bit of toner from my bottle and put some extra fluid in here. Not that there's not enough in here already, but I'm just a little extra, especially when it comes to skincare. So I do put a couple squirts of extra toner in here when I travel. So I got another one of these guys. I also purchased the new Benefit Fluoroscope Earth Angel Bronze Blush and Highlight Palette. These are new products from Benefit, and I believe that they came out with 3 versions of face palettes with blush, highlighter, and bronzers in them. So I got the lightest one, and I got it at Ulta. The box packaging says it's made in the USA, but each pan is made in a different country. Well, 2 are made in France, and then we've got the Hoola Matte Bronzing Powder, which there's 0.28 ounces of product in there, and that's made in the USA. You've got 0.14 ounces of Georgia Blush, which is made in France. You've got 0.14 ounces of Cookie Highlighter, which is made in Canada, and then you've got Honeymoon, which is a new blush shade to my knowledge, that's made in France, and that's 0.25 ounces of product. So a pretty decent sized blush that you're getting there. That's kind of interesting though that they're kind of made in different countries. But here is the packaging. It is a cardboard packaging, very cute though. And then inside you do have a mirror, and then here are your 4 products. Again, I got the lightest one. I did find it interesting that the lightest one didn't have like Hoola light bronzer in there, but Hoola, the original, works pretty good for me anyway. And I wore this yesterday, and I did get along with the products really well. But I do think that I might take the other palette that I put together, which I'll show you guys in a minute, as opposed to this guy, because Cookie Highlighter is such a pretty shine on the skin, but it does have a slight undercast to it, so it works better for me in the summertime, and then the deeper bronzer and kind of blush too. So I don't think I'm going to end up taking this one with me. I'm going to probably take the other palette that I put together, but let me swatch this for you guys. I found that the quality across all the shades worked really well. When I used the blush, I dipped between those 2 pans to add a little bit of shimmer, more shimmer from Georgia into the pink. And then again, Cookie's so beautiful. I wish that it didn't have that undercast to it on my skin tone. I mean, it looks light enough right there, which, I mean, it is light enough in direct light, but it doesn't have that lifting factor for me that I wish for, especially in the winter months or the colder months, and I have like no color to my skin. But it looked really pretty yesterday. However, I put on a little bit deeper foundation as well when I used it. I'm trying to get you guys to see the undercast of Cookie, but that is a beautiful highlighter. So those are the 4 face products in the new Benefit, and this is the Earth Angel Fluoroscope palette right there. Next up, I purchased the Laura Geller Baked Bronze and Brighten Multi-Purpose Bronzer in the shade Fair, which is this guy right here. There's a total of 0.32 ounces of product in here, and it's made in Italy. And I got this guy because I was like doing a little experiment in my minis makeup drawer, seeing how condensed I could get a makeup bag, just for kind of a purpose, but kind of giggles as well. And I came across this mini Laura Geller Bronze and Brighten in Fair. So this little tiny guy right here. And then I swatched it, and I was like, gosh, that looks like such a pretty like rosy toned bronzer. And I used it the next day and just loved it. So I don't want to use this one up so that I can really travel with it in a little makeup bag if need be. So I went ahead and got the full size powder, and again, this is the shade Fair. It comes in a, like, I think medium and deep as well, and it's one of those baked marbled products, and this has got an even more rosy tone than the Gucci bronzer in Fair that I adore. And so I've got this bronzer on my face today. I would say it's got a matte finish to it, but this is another bronzing product. If you're fair with kind of a pink undertone, you would love this. So I'm going to swatch it next to the Gucci one as well. It's so easy to use as well. It blends out really beautifully on the skin, but you can see the slight rosiness that this has, and it's just so flattering on my skin tone, which is one of the reasons I love that Gucci one too, is it's got like a slight rosy factor to it. But I love this bronzer too. So let me swatch it next to the Gucci one. And this is the palette I was telling you guys about that I had put together to travel with. This has actually got every single powder face product that I need for my face. I've got number 7 setting powder that I depotted, the Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana for like setting my neck, and then this is that new Armani Luminous powder that I can use for a finishing powder instead of like bringing along the meteorites. I got a mini of the Ofra highlighter, which I've also got that on the top of my cheekbones today. It's one of my favorite highlighters. I should show you guys. This is the Star Island. That's the mini of the Star Island. I also depotted that guy, but here is my Star Island. There's a significant kind of amount of pan in that guy. And then I've got these are Makeup Forever blushes, and then a Chantecaille one. But point being, here is the Gucci bronzer, and this here is actually magnetized in the compact. There's a little teeny, I'll pull it out here. There's a little teeny tack right here of a glue for the compact, but there's a magnet in there, so you can actually just pull these Gucci bronzers right out of the compact, and I just love that idea. So back to the point of what I'm saying here. Kind of went off there. Here's the Gucci bronzer that I love. Like, you can see I've used it enough where the patterning is gone off of the product as well. But there it is next to the Laura Geller one, and the Laura Geller one too is like half the price. So if you were interested in the Gucci one but not interested in the price, and you like that rosy tone of a bronzer and you have that fair skin tone, try the Laura Geller one. It's beautiful as well. So you can see, like, I just think that these kind of tones on my skin tone look super flattering. So there's the Gucci one in fair, and there is the Laura Geller Bronze and Bright in fair as well. Just stunning bronzers though. And then I was going to show you guys this little magnet product that I saw on the Beautylish website. So when I placed an order a few weeks back, I ordered this and I forgot to show it to you guys, but I thought some of you guys might find this handy. So it's a little kind of double-ended magnet. So this is what I use to like pull out magnetic products and stuff like that. There's a little magnet on the end here, a little round one right there, and then a larger one on this side. And it says it's from Cirque Colors right there, and it was only, I want to say, $5. So I know I got a lot of questions before about my Inglot magnet, which I don't see this available on Beautylish anymore, but I see this one. So if you were interested in kind of a handy little magnet to pull out magnetic pans from their palettes, ones that are able to be removed, this is a handy little guy to have. And again, I got that off of Beautylish. I just magnetized it to my mirror. And then next up, I purchased 3 palettes off of Beauty Bay, and this first one is from BPerfect Cosmetics, and I've never tried anything from BPerfect, but I really liked kind of the color layout in here, and I think this maybe is a collaboration. I'm not 100% sure, but this is the box packaging that it comes in, which is very pretty. This is a large eyeshadow palette. There's a total of 63 grams of product in here across 35 shades, so you're getting a ton of product and shades in here. So 19 deeply pigmented matte shades, 13 stunning shimmers, 1 matte cream, 1 shimmer cream, 1 shimmer gloss shadow, shimmer gloss topper. Yeah, so you can actually feel like the squishiness in some of these shades have that like cream texture, which Aether Beauty, Adept Cosmetics, that's who I was trying to think of. They actually have this similar type of squishy type of formula in some of their eyeshadows as well. But this is the palette that I have on my eyes today. Very vibrant. It's a all-in-one palette for me. I was able to use just everything in here. And then there's a little sheet across the top that says Manifest with some wording of sorts. And you've got a mirror in there, and then here are all the shades. And I don't know, it's very sporadic. The layout of this palette is just kind of all over the place. It doesn't have like all the warms in one spot or all the cools or all the shimmers or anything like that. And I find palettes that are laid out like this really inspirational. I know some people don't like this type of layout because it is a little bit more difficult to come up with looks, but I for one come up with some like interesting ones because the colors are like all over the place, right? So I've got on these 2 shades right here on the lid, and I want to try to show you guys, this is one of those squishy shades. And there are micro glitters in that guy. I've got it on the inner portion of my lid. And then the rest of the lid, I've got this one right here, which is squishy as well, but not quite as squishy as this one. And some of these other shades, like this gold one and the green and this blue. They kind of have that flaky texture, but they're not quite as squishy as those two in particular. The mattes are so pigmented and they blend it out really, really well. And then you've got some of those shades that have that swirl, kind of like how Huda Beauty did them, like these guys. The formulation of these shadows is very, very similar to the formulation of the two Beauty Bay palettes that I also purchased. So I wouldn't doubt, and somebody might know actually, but BPerfect, this formulation and such feels like the same thing from Beauty Bay, these other two palettes that I got, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a sister brand or anything. And all three of these palettes that I'm going to show you guys are made in the PRC. But I'm going to swatch, let's swatch a couple of these. Let's swatch these pretty shades here. Again, these are a little bit more flaky. There weren't micro glitters in this guy. It's a chunkier formula though, and this one had micro glitters that kind of fell out on my face a little bit. I want to swatch some of these really vibrant shimmers, and then we'll do some of the mattes. But the price point on here is really good, and the quality, especially for the price point, was totally worth it. One of the other palettes I used yesterday, I just loved the look that came out of it. But you can see these type of formulas have got quite a bit of like silicones in them, and they have a translucency to them, and they sparkle super, super pretty. And then let's do some of these mattes here. I like that little mustard matte. There's quite just a lovely array of shades in here. What other one should we do? This brown. And this is the only palette I've tried from BPerfect. And this formula is making its rounds. I know it's a newer type of a shadow formula that people have been doing. So I don't know if older BPerfect palettes are similar to this one. I bet they're not, because again, this is a newer type of style formula. And I believe Adept Cosmetics shadows like that are also made in the PRC. So interesting. Let me swatch these purples too. Swatch this purple, this green, swatch this shimmery blue. So that is the Manifest palette right there. I don't have enough arm space to swatch every single shade in here. But again, I do really enjoy the looks that I've gotten out of this palette so far. So there's just a couple right there, and it's not a bad price either. And I did have a 20% off coupon. Beauty Bay has pretty decent sales every now and again, but this is so pretty. These next two palettes are both by Beauty Bay, and again, I feel like the formulation in these palettes is very similar to that in the BPerfect. And I went down at like BPerfect, Beauty Bay, and there's all the bees. They're probably made in the same place. But these next two palettes were actually inspired purchases by Paulina Beauty here on YouTube. She's just been one of my favorite people to watch. She's like genuinely funny, and she just makes me laugh. And I don't know, I don't know her or anything, but I feel like we're friends. But anyway, she had talked about these palettes and how much she enjoyed them, so I went ahead and got them. And this first one is the Beauty Bay and NikkieTutorials collaboration palette, which I had heard really mixed reviews on. And again, this palette is made in the PRC, and there's 20 shades that are 0.08 ounces per shade, which is just an astronomical amount of product. So the packaging is also cardboard. I don't remember the inspiration behind any of the artwork or anything like that, but I think it's pretty. And then it opens up like that, mirror on each side, and then you have got all these really fun, pretty shades. I have worn this palette a couple times, and I've really gotten along with it well. The mattes are pigmented, they blended out really nice. Some of these shades in here, these really shimmery, sparkly shades, remind me of some of the reflex that I get in my JD Glow Cosmetics shades, which I love those eyeshadows. There's only one shade in here that I wish was a little bit different, and that's this shade right here called Ivy. This is one of those shades that's heavily siliconed, that has like a cream texture to it. It's like that putty texture. These ones right here do a little bit as well, but not as much as this one, so that makes it really difficult to pick up on a finger or a brush. It just makes it a little bit more difficult to use. I found that these other shimmers picked up really lovely on a flat shader though. So I just wish this was more like a pressed powder type of version instead of that putty cream, just because it makes it again a little bit more difficult to use. So that's the shade Ivy, and because that's the lightest shade in the palette, both shimmer and matte formulation, it doesn't make it quite a standalone palette for me. So I'd bring in something like Aether Beauty Pure Diamond Dust in with this palette. But I did a look with this palette yesterday that I was just over the moon with. I did bring in Aether Beauty Pure Diamond Dust with it, but the look was so stunning. I felt that the mattes are pigmented and they blended out really well. The shimmers are really pretty. I didn't have a ton of fallout for how like shimmery those, like some of these shades are. I got along with it really well. Paulina really loved this palette, so that's kind of why I bought it. I'll link her channel down below. You guys gotta go check her out. She's hilarious. So I'm gonna swatch this whole palette. I'll swatch it kind of in fours going this way, because I think I can fit all 20 of these on my arm. Yeah, just really fun like matte shades in here too. I really have been enjoying this palette a lot. I'm super happy that I got it, because I know that it's a limited edition palette. So I'm not sure how long it's like going to be in stock, but I kind of toyed with the idea for a couple of weeks before I even bought it, and then Paulina's the one who pushed me over the edge to purchase it. And there are some really good neutrals in here as well. Like when you first look at it, it looks super kind of like bright and stuff, but there are some really good neutral shades in here. And then these guys. And then here's that shade that I'm just not crazy about. It's like a cream. It's even hard to swatch. I wish it was more like a powder or more like those other shimmers in the palette, but not bad though to have only one shade in there that I probably won't use. And then these guys. I love this shade right here. It reminds me of one of the JD Glow shadows that I have. That is it called Uninterrupted? Or is that a MAC shade? Oh, am I running out of room? Oh my gosh, I kind of am. And then this last row right here. I'm gonna have to set this palette down. Put these swatches right here. So those are the swatches of the Beauty Bay NikkieTutorials palette. I should see what the official name is, but I am really happy that I got this palette. If it wasn't so big, I'd be trying to throw it in on my trip because it's really fun. And then this last palette I also bought because of Paulina, and this is the Beauty Bay 42 color Fiery 2.0 eyeshadow palette. This just looked like a really fun one. So there's 42 shadows in here that are 0.05 ounces per shade, which astronomical amount of product. This is not a little palette by any means. It's also made in the PRC. It's cardboard style packaging. There's a really substantially sized mirror in here, and then you have just got an absolute ton of shimmer and matte eyeshadows. This is definitely a standalone palette for me. I love the variation in tones while being in the same type of color family. There's just a great like variety. So this palette has got, I want to say, 2 shades that are kind of similar to the NikkieTutorials ones. Or there's 3, I guess. There's this shade Tiger, Sun, and Kisses, and maybe Crystals kind of like that too, where they're really, really high shine, kind of sparkly shades. Let me actually swatch these ones for you guys so you can see them off the bat, because I know there's no way I'm going to fit 42 eyeshadows down my arm, but those 4 shimmer shades are kind of the ones with that similar really shiny type of formula. And then there's also some really pretty metallic shades in here, but they're more like a standard eyeshadow, like a powder eyeshadow. But none of these are that super soft, squishy texture like the one in the NikkieTutorials one. One is a little soft. I think it's this peach one, but it's not as creamy as that one in the NikkieTutorials palette. And these were picking up on a brush pretty good for me too. So aren't those pretty? Then let me swatch some of the kind of standard shimmer formula, which is also stunning. right here. I gotta set that palette down. It's just kind of too big, but can swatch a little bit better. And these palettes too, again, like they're really affordable, and Beauty Bay does do coupons. Look at that though, very, very pretty. And then let me do some of these mattes. I'll do this kind of peachy shade. I'm going to do both of these two shades. They're kind of bright, vivid yellows. And those aren't the easiest to do in a matte formulation. So I'll go ahead and swatch those, and kind of this mustard shade. You can really kind of see, again, those are not the easiest kind of matte shades to do. So I wanted to swatch them for you guys. I used this color the other day to blend out, and it turned out really well for me. Then let me swatch a couple more of these matte shades here. I'm just really happy with this palette. I'm happy with all of these big palettes that I purchased from Beauty Bay. So pretty though, right? So that's like 16 swatches. That's 16 of 42 shades. There's so many. So that is the Beauty Bay Fiery 2.0 eyeshadow palette right there. So pretty. And that's everything that I got in this week that I purchased. I do have some stuff that's on the way that is just not here yet. Some things that I'm really excited about. So hopefully they'll get here soon. But I did get one PR package from Colourpop, and they came out with some brow products, new brow products. They came out with the Feather Effect Styling Wax. So they sent over the clear version and then the tinted version. And then they came out with two style of precision. Oh, there's the Brow Boss pencil and the Precision Brow pencil. So let me show you the waxes first. So these are made in the USA, and there's 0.17 ounces in each of these. So the packaging is a plastic packaging. So here's the clear one. And I have worked with kind of brow waxes in the past, but I've never worked with any that are like this hard. Like this is a really stiff wax. Like I can't even like pick a product on it. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong here. Do you wet it? No, that's like, maybe you do wet it. I need to look this up. If you guys know, let me know. Typically, I just throw some brow gel, tinted brow gel in my eyebrows, and that's kind of all I do, and feather out a couple strokes with a pen. But I'm interested in that laminated look effect or whatever, so I almost bought the Anastasia brow freeze a couple times, and I still haven't gotten it yet, but I believe that this is probably a much different product than the Anastasia one. But anyway, that's the clear one, and then here's the tinted one right here, which again, it doesn't, I need to look up how to use these. I'm going to add some water to it. Water didn't really do anything to that, so I think that you're going to have to take the spoolie. So they came out with a spoolie as well, which I really like this spoolie. It's got a little angle to it, so I think you take the spoolie. Let's do it. I didn't want to do this because I wanted to take this with me on my trip, and I didn't want to get it dirty yet, but let's do it. Let's scrape it on here. Yeah, okay, cool. It comes off on the little spoolie there. I've got brow product in. This is not a trying new makeup video, but whatever. Did that do anything? I need to toy around with these, you guys. They look a little more spiky, right? Anyway, that's the tinted version. I think a little bit went on into my brows. And then I have the Brow Boss pencil in light brown. So there's a spoolie on one end, and this is the little precise brow pencil. And this is a stiffer formulation. It's been so long since I've used a pencil product in my brows. So I've been using brow gels for so long. And then we've got the Precision Brow, Precision Brow Boss. Wait a minute here. Precision one. Okay, this is one of those kinds that you can't twist back down. So this one is this one's softer. This formulation is softer than the Boss Brow. So this is the Precision Brow Pencil, and that's in Dope Taupe, which is actually a really good color for me. So that's much softer, as you can see it going on there, compared to the Brow Boss pencil, which turns up and down. So yeah, this is a much stiffer formula. right there. So a huge thank you to Colourpop for sending me over their new brow products. If you guys have any experience with those brow waxes or any tips or anything, I'd love for you to let me know. It's been such a long time, again, since I've used a pencil or a wax or even a powder in my brows. And that's everything that I have for my haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later. Bye.